George Daniels' Grannom pupa is a great fly to have in your box anywhere you might run into trout keying on caddis. This is a fun to tie fly that looks good in the vise and even better in the water. Hey everyone, Matt here with the Northern Angler in Traverse City, Michigan. You can find all the materials you'll need for this fly and lots more at thenorthernangler.com. Once you've got your hook in the vise here, start your thread right at the bead. We're going to build just a small taper. If you'd like, you can always add a little bit of lead wire or lead-free wire. Seat that bead, keep it in place, but we're going to jam some materials in there so it should not be an issue. I'll wrap back to around where that thread intersects the point. We're going to grab some vise body quill, kind of a unique material, translucent, bright, and pretty easy to use. We're going to fold it over that thread and tie it in. Work it back just a little bit further. That's probably good. Then I do a little whip finish right here. And then I'm going to reorient the hook in the vise just so I have a little bit more access. Okay, I just want to go back and forth here, not too far down into the bend, but far enough. Just kind of build up a little butt end here. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to cover it with some UV epoxy here in a minute. Sometimes this stuff does get a little stringy like this. That's okay. Capture it, tie it off, trim off any excess, and you're good. Reorient that hook. And let's tie our wire in. Let's stick this one end into the bead, just so it's not loose, and work it back to the green. Next, we're going to grab 3 strands of peacock herl. Tie those in near the tips, but not right at the tips. Your tips are always your weakest point. Got those covered up. Work your thread to the bead. Do a half hitch here. Bring that cradle around. We're going to wrap our peacock herl. Just touching wraps up the shank. Ooh, we broke one there, that's okay. Half hitch again. Repeat pretty much that same process, except opposite direction with our wire. Secure those wraps. Capture that wire, tie it off. Bring your nozzle up. I'm just going to do a quick helicopter. Great. All right, at this point, I like to add a little bit of UV. Cover up that butt end. All right, and then you just hit that with the light. And cure it. Shouldn't take long. All right. Next, I'm just going to grab a partridge feather here. I want to strip all the fluff. Right. Next, we want to, I really try and pinch with my thumb and index finger the tips and expose as much as I can, because that's my tie-in point. really secure that. Trim the tips. Grab your hackle pliers. And really, we're looking for one wrap. I'm preening this back, just so you know. Right, capture that. Great. 2-3 wraps. Trim off your excess. I always put a few wraps on top at the end, and then it just orients all the fibers backwards. Next is a technique we don't use a whole lot, and we don't get to show it off a whole lot, but we're gonna flatten this thread out. I'm using a bodkin here, just drawing it towards myself, and that's twisting the bobbin and flattening the thread. And what I'm gonna do is try and catch some thread here and actually split it in two. You guys see that there? It's not perfect, that's okay. I'm gonna grab some dubbing. This is kind of a fun squirrel, spiky, coarse dubbing, and place it into that loop. This is kind of like a mini dubbing loop, and you will not need a whole lot for a fly this size. This is probably twice as much as you'll need, but we're going to twist that up just a little bit. And then kind of just wrap on top of it and preen it back. And it's going to look like a lot at first. Whip finish this off, trim your excess, but we're going to comb a lot of that out. And I tend to do some ripping and tearing with my thumb and index finger. Just makes it look uneven, brings some of those guard hairs out. Gets it everywhere. And that's your fly. Well, I hope you get a chance to tie a few of these up and give them a try on the water. Be sure to check out the links below for a full material list and an article about how we like to rig and fish this fly. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you'd like to see more videos like this, think about hitting that subscribe button. Get tying, and we'll see you soon in the shop or out on the water.